Hi there, I'm Joseph and I'm on our cherry farm in central Portugal, Fundão. The cherry season has now come to an end. It was a rather abrupt end, unfortunately, because we've had this really dreary wet weather, and the storms we had last week, they've called an end to the cherry picking. So we're super pleased that it's been a fantastic harvest this year. It was about a 5 to 6 week harvest, which is approximately what we would expect. It's just about 3 days were shaved off considering the storms. But of course we're all sad to see the back of the cherries, and now they're gone. We've just got a few more now for our own personal consumption, jams and things like that, liqueurs and whatnot. But yeah, the good thing, if you can imagine such a thing, the good thing about the end of the cherry harvest is that once the cherries go, you can say hello to all these new beautiful fruits. So the cherries have gone and we've got the next batches of fruits coming through now on the farm. And the very next one would be these. It would be nesperas, or loquats, and these are a fantastic tree and an absolutely marvellous fruit. They've got these big leathery evergreen leaves, and they're magnificent. And this tree has got to be 20 or 30 years old. It's absolutely beautiful. I can see a few down there, but there's not too many on this tree this year, and that's because some loquat varieties are biennial, or partially self-pollinating, which means that really you need to have a couple of fruit trees, a couple of the loquats nearby each other, so that the bees can cross-pollinate. And yeah, we've got two, but only one is really small, and we've got this big one, so we don't get too much fruit. And last year this one was really well loaded with loquats. So of course this year you don't expect it to have as much fruit because it spent so much energy last year. This year it's recuperating somewhat. I can see a few down there. I can see about 3 or 4 down there. But they're a little bit immature still, so we're not going to pick those. We're going to leave them. I like them with the sharpness, but not everyone does. Some people like them with the sweetness, so we'll leave them for now. And then, of course, we'll get straight after the loquats. The plums are pretty much ready. I think I'll be picking those in the next 5 or 6 days, and then the figs after that. We've got some big, beautiful figs, and I'm looking forward to trying some of those. The good thing about having a fruit farm is that you do appreciate the fruit because you eat more seasonally. So I have cherries at cherry season, plums at plum season, and of course you can freeze some and have them in cakes, but they're not quite the same as when you've got them fresh from the tree. I would say in the sunshine, but this year we're a bit short on sun. But yeah, hopefully soon the summer will start, and yeah, we're gonna have a nice hot summer, I think. But yeah, let's go have a look round. Come, Mitch. Good morning, Okay, so I've got our 2 little goslings that we bought last week, and I hope you can hear me over all that racket. Well, these 2 have been segregated. They've been in the goose pen, but segregated day and night into their own little tiny pen with some food and some water. And they can see the big geese and they can interact with them through the bars, but the big geese can't actually touch them. They can't physically hurt them or anything like that. They can't fight, but they can talk to each other through the bars. So they've been slowly integrating and getting ready to become friends. So I'm hoping that over the last week they will have created a bond, because geese are really family orientated. Geese really love their family and they always stick together. I think they're gonna get on really well. But this is going to be the first time that these 2 goslings have spent any time with the big geese. So let's see how it goes. I think it's going to go well. So I'm pleased with that. That seemed to go really well. The big geese, they showed a little bit of interest, and I thought, ooh, maybe we're going to have some sort of fight or something here. But I think they were just having a closer look and inspecting what's going on. Geese have got this sort of this weird gaze. When you look into a goose's eye, you can really feel that they're looking back at you. Unlike a chicken or a duck or something, they just have this all-knowing sort of gaze. But and I think that's what they were putting into action with the two little goslings just there. The goslings have ran straight over to a big bucket of water I've got over there, and they started dunking their beaks into there. So I think they're going to get on well here on the farm. So we're here today in the turkey pen, and I've got one of our lovely bronze turkey poults here, and they're just gorgeous little birds. We've got them locked in here. They've been on the farm for a week now, so we've had them locked in here for a week. I think we're going to need to give them about an extra 5 days, maybe another week, because turkeys are very closely related to game birds. Turkeys are a game bird, so they have a slightly larger range than, say, a chicken would. So they need to stay in here and become a bit more used to where they sleep before we let them out where they can fly into a tree and try and roost in a tree rather than the barn, which is not going to be safe for them because of foxes and whatnot. Also, turkeys have a much higher protein dietary requirement than chickens or ducks or something like that. Turkeys need, for the first 8 weeks of their life... Oh, sorry mate, go on. Turkeys need, for the first 8 weeks of their life, as close to about 30% of protein as what they can get in their diet, which is really high. The reason it's so high is because turkeys grow so big so quick, so they really need that. It's quite important for their leg muscles to develop strong enough to hold them up and to make sure they're nice and healthy. Chickens, on the other hand, depending on their purpose, don't need so much of a high protein diet. If they're meat birds, then they're going to need a slightly higher protein diet, but certainly nowhere near as much as turkeys. Chickens need about a 16 to 18% diet, slightly more when they're chicks. They need more like a 21-25% protein, but yeah. So today I've hard-boiled some eggs, and we're going to give these to the turkeys. This is an old Portuguese, an old farm boy way of getting some protein in them. And that's another reason why we keep them in here. We can make sure in here that they're getting that high protein diet. I've got some turkeys pecking at the tripod over there. and yeah, so we can make sure that they get that high protein diet if they're locked in here. If they were out on grass, they wouldn't be getting the same diet. They'd be getting a lot of protein from bugs, but not so much from the grasses. Geese, on the other hand, they have another dietary requirement, but they don't need so much protein. They still need a bit when they're growing, but not so much. They need niacin, which is like vitamin B, I believe, and you can get that from pasture. So the geese, it's quite the opposite to turkeys. You want to get them out and onto the grass as quickly as possible. But for now, we're going to feed these turkeys here the hard-boiled eggs, and that'll be their meal, mixed in with a bit of game bird starter, and that'll make sure that they get on the way to getting nice big muscles. But yeah. So as you can see here, there's still lots of big, beautiful, dark red cherries on the trees here. But unfortunately, a lot of them are weather damaged. Not sure if you can see that. So we've had to stop picking commercially now. But that just means that these can go into the freezer. We can make some pies over the winter months. And right now we're going to pick some and give them to all the chickens and everything. So they're not going to go to waste. But it's just a shame. It's a shame to see all of these big, beautiful cherries, and yeah, another big split down the bottom. So these ones got wet in the storms that we had last week. You probably saw that on last week's episode. And when they get wet, the water really doesn't affect the cherries too much. But what happens is you get this beautiful sun afterwards, and the wet cherries have swollen with the water, and then the sun comes out and it literally just tears the skin open. So you end up with unsellable cherries, but they taste fine. So now we're going to go give them to all the chickens. Okay, I'm up here in the main cherry orchard. I've got the little Yanmar compact 15 horsepower tractor, and I've attached the topper on the back. So that's a spinning chain that cuts the long grasses up. Doesn't give it a neat cut, but it gives it a cut, you know, and it makes it nice and safe for the summer period when all the grasses have gone dry. Normally speaking, it's actually prohibited to use chains and blades at this time of the year, but we had a real nice drop of rain this morning across the farm, so that made all the land workable again. So we rang the Junta de Freguesia, or the parish council, and we asked them, we said, would it be possible to use our chains to cut the grass through the orchards today? And they said, considering the rain, no problem whatsoever. So that's handy. Lloyd's been at the side, he's been trimming all morning, so he's done all the sides now in the orchard. Now I'm going to go through just a few minutes, 10 minutes or something, and give this a nice cut, and that'll probably be the last cut now for the whole of the summer in here, so that'll be good. Let's go. We are here in the veg patch this afternoon. It's a beautiful sunny afternoon. It's lovely after this morning's rain that we had. And I'm here looking at our Romanesco cabbages, or Romanesco broccoli. They're brassicas, so they're the same family as broccoli and cauliflower. And they have these flower buds at the top of the plant here. They're similar to like a cauliflower or a broccoli would have. And that's the edible part. And it's just gorgeous when you roast it up with some garlic and some lemon. It's beautiful, and I'm really looking forward to those in a couple of weeks. But the reason I'm looking at these today is they're stunning. They are the mathematical marvels of the veg patch. They've got this triangular pyramid shape and lots of little pyramids around it, and they're in a Fibonacci fractal curve, and it just shows that nature is absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. But today we're here to pick some cucumbers, so let's get on that. Okay, so we're here with the cucumbers now, and we've got these absolutely gorgeous big cucumbers here. These are a pickling variety, so they've got lots of little tiny spines on them. Normally the pickling varieties do have these little spines, and normally the salad varieties are quite clean and smooth. That doesn't mean that you can't eat these. Of course you can eat these, but you just normally have to peel them because the little spines can be a little bit prickly. But yeah, today we're going to pickle these, so we're going to get these. They're only a few weeks old now. It's just marvellous, the growth on them. It's absolutely fantastic. I put that down to the weather, of course. We've had lovely sun, and of course we've had a fair bit of rain this year as well, so more than usual, I'd probably say. So we're gonna harvest some of those. You can just clip them off when you feel they're at the right size. Cucumbers will not ripen off of the vine, so it's quite important to get them when they're ripe. Not overripe, not underripe. They go yellow when they're overripe. So these ones are probably just about right, really. We don't want them too big because we are going to pickle them. So yeah, they're probably a nice size. You can just clip them straight off the vine, but I didn't bring any clippers down with me today. I just brought a basket, so I'm just going to twist, and they should fall off. There we go. By doing this, it means that the plant is no longer going to be putting its energy into these cucumbers, which is good for the plant. It means that it can focus its energy on growing taller up the trellis, and then growing more cucumbers. You can actually be harvesting cucumbers every day or every other day during the summer, so So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. There we go, that's probably enough. Hey, chickens. Okay, we are here, back in the farmhouse, in the kitchen, and today we're doing one of my all-time favourite summer recipes. These go fantastic with barbecues, inside a burger or something like that. So we're doing crunchy sliced pickled cucumbers. And what we have here are some mustard seeds, we've got some garlic, we've got some wild dill fronds and stems, and yeah, we're gonna be doing these in a hot vinegar brine. So you can actually substitute out the cucumbers, and you can use this recipe for onions to make pickled onions, or cabbages, bell peppers, carrots, eggs. You can do pickled eggs with these. And what you can do is you can do a jar full of a mixture of all pickled vegetables. So so yeah, anyone that's interested in pickles, this is going to be for you, I think. couple of weeks ago I uploaded a video where Lloyd, my father, and I stocked up all this hay store here with all these bales of hay. Now, as with all farms, pests can be a real nuisance. Tomatoes get aphids and cabbages get butterflies. Well, chickens and sheep and hay attract mice and rats. So we have 11 cats on the farm here, and they do their job at keeping the mice down. But you will never ever be without mice. You can't do it. There's hay, there's chicken feed, there's animals, there's water. You're gonna get mice. So that's just the way it is. But I like to set up a humane trap here. Call me a softie, I know. But I like to set up a humane trap here nearly every night. If I catch one mouse in 10 days, I know I'm not overrun. That's probably a normal number to go with. But if I start catching more than that, say 2 or 3 in 10 days, maybe even 4, I know there could well be a problem. With the 11 cats, you can pretty much guarantee that you're not going to be overrun. But it's still nice to keep tabs on how much you've got here. So anyway, I set this trap last night with a cherry and caught us a little mouse. So it's just a little common mouse. He's no threat, and I don't see the point in killing anything for doing what Mother Nature intended. So I know, call me a softie, but I'm gonna let him go. He was just an experiment to see how many mice we have on the farm, and he's the first one I've caught now in about 9 or 10 days. So I'm pretty sure the cats are all doing their job. So now I'm gonna go and let him free. It's been a lovely week here on the farm, and we thank you very much for joining us whilst we do our daily tasks. I'm sitting here, I've got Lily the dog with me down here, and I've got Sweetie sitting here having a munch on some cherries. All the turkey poults and both of the goslings are doing just swell. The goslings are fully integrated into the gaggle now. The adults even hiss and honk at us when we walk nearby, protecting the little ones, which is just lovely to see. I'm so very pleased that worked out well for them. Want another cherry? Oops. There we go. We have one of the mother muscovies hatching her clutch as I speak, and Mariana thinks she's already seen 4 or 5 little yellow ducklings underneath her. And we're hoping for about 7 ducklings from that nest. The next mother's eggs shouldn't be far behind her either. So there should be quite a few ducklings taking their first steps around the farm by next week. We've pickled and canned some cucumbers. I'll let those sit in the fridge for a few days before trying them. And we also did one final cut in the main orchard with the compact tractor and topper before the summer comes and it gets too hot and arid to use the chains in the dry grass. For now, however, we say goodbye to the cherries for another year, but we say hello to the other fruits as they begin to ripen on the trees. We're all eager to try the first plump plum or fresh fig of the year. And now we enter early summer. The vegetable garden has become somewhat of a food forest, with tomatoes swelling, cabbages and lettuces being harvested daily now, spinach is growing like mad. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Truly we do. Have a marvellous week, everybody. If you like our little video, please consider clicking the subscribe button below. It really would help our channel to grow. See you again next week. Oh, you spotted the bucket.